Hello everybody, and thank you once again for joining right here on the W3L network Sunday at 12 o'clock. Now, as you know, of course, due to the global pandemic, we've been unable to bring you any live W3L events. Nobody has been able to bring you any live wrestling whatsoever. And we have been determined to bring you an episode of Wrestling Showdown, or indeed Wrestling Lockdown as it was renamed, every single week. To keep up that consistency, to give you something new to watch every single week. We've continued to do that. However, due to us not having run any live events, we've reached a stage where we're running low on usable footage. So, what we decided to do is take a dip in the archives, and that's why this is now Wrestling Showdown Rewind. So for the next few weeks at least, we're going to be returning to 2014, 6 years ago, and taking a look at some W3L footage from there. You're going to see some people that you remember, maybe some you don't. You will see people maybe not in the way that they currently are now. You'll see what I mean over the next few weeks. Also, you'll be pleased to know, for those of you who are more interested in him than you are in me, but the original version of me is there, so that'll keep some of you happy, I am sure. This is going to be a fun look back into the archives. These matches, certainly the first set anyway, are from before we were doing Wrestling Showdown, which was started at the end of 2014. That's a really interesting look into W3L's history, and hopefully you will enjoy it. Obviously, we are determined to bring you content every single week. Again, it's been tricky, but we've done it. A new episode every week, consistency, ladies and gentlemen. Plus, we've brought you all those other cool things on the W3L network every single week as well. Go on to the network, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and you'll see it. It's all there for free. You can get to watch all that stuff, and that will pass the time, because again, hopefully sooner rather than later we can start bringing you live W3L action, get to doing what we do best. I want to say thank you to Crafty Connoisseur. They sponsor all of our live W3L events. They are still active online. Check out their store, look at their social media. They have various coupon codes. You can get like free shipping and the like. Find that out and go to their website, make a purchase from them and show them some support, and show us some support with a fan support package. You can pick one of those up. Prices start from only £5, and not only do you get DVDs, signed posters, dirt cheap ringside seats that will never be that cheap ever again, but you also get an exclusive video message from a W3L star of your choice. So pick one of those up from our website. More details on that in just a bit. But let's turn the time machine back to 2014. We were heading up to Wick, of all places, and this match, it's going to be something interesting. On one hand, you've got the Bulgarian Baker. Who doesn't love Bozidar Branimir? He is back in W3L, and he's taking on a very young, very fresh-faced Dickie Divers. Now, this is pre-contingency plan. They hadn't started as of yet. So it's going to be an interesting look to see how these two men were 6 years or so ago. So without any further ado, let's get down to ringside for this week's match.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe Fordyce with your Wrestling Showdown Rewind as we take all the way back to 2014. And we have a very strange match for you here, ladies and gentlemen. You can see there in the white, just making sure that his items are safely looked after, is the nefarious Bozidar Branimir, the Bulgarian Baker. And he is taking on Dickie Divers in the pink and the green, a man I'm sure you know pretty well, his time in W3L. This event, of course, predates Wrestling Showdown. The first episode of that didn't appear until December of 2014. So it hadn't been thought of at this point, so this is a dip in the archives for me, some classic material. And it's interesting to have a look at the archives, not just because you can get to see the Bulgarian Baker, a man of course who's only really made sporadic appearances in W3L throughout the years. At this stage here in 2014, he's only appeared a few times, just a handful of appearances in the World Wide Wrestling League. And he has returned take on Dickie Divers. And if you follow the career of the Baker, you know that obviously he's very busy back home in his going to Sofia in Bulgaria, which is where he was from. And he's always worked his physicality. Some years he's bulked up more, other years he's slimmed down more, some years he's been stronger, some years he's been more lithe, trying to be faster. He's always trying to improve himself, so just arguing a bit loaded. He's trying to elicit some positive reaction from the crowd. He's not getting it. Now that right there may surprise you, because if you followed W3L, particularly throughout the Showdown era, which again December of 2014, where ironically Dickie Divers was in the very first episode of Wrestling Showdown. If you go all the way back and follow the past 5 years of Showdown, Dickie Divers hasn't exactly been a popular man. In fact, he's been pretty much the opposite of Baker jumps from behind. But here, back in 2014, as he faced the Baker, Divers was surprisingly the more popular person. And this part of the reason was, you sometimes see this, is he's getting the crowd on his side, positioning the Baker, and just kicks him right in the chest. The Baker rolling to the floor with a rolling pin, I guess. Is that you often find, and again this has happened if you've been to W3L live events or Showdown, occasionally someone will come in and they might play to the crowd, and maybe the crowd doesn't quite take to them as Divers with another kick. And then other times they might come in, maybe the match after that, and they start breaking the rules. And it kind of varies, because sometimes you're just trying to find their feet, find what works. Sometimes crowd support helps you, sometimes breaking the rules helps you. And obviously over the years, Divers has found that being a rule breaker is what has gained him the most success. He goes in for that cover. So far in W3L, up until this point, Divers only had just a couple of appearances. We'd seen him make his debut at Wrestling 4, challenging for the Tag Team Championship against the Disco Biscuits. Then he didn't return to Wrestling 6, battling for the golden ticket in a 4-way elimination match. And the year prior to this, he'd been in 7 Deadly Sins, getting late in the quarterfinals. As Divers head first into the turnbuckle, and the Baker flattens him on that clothesline. As he goes straight, wow, Divers kicking straight out. Divers in his colourful green and pink attire. Pink has been a hallmark of Divers over the years. He's pink and black, but obviously trying to change up a little bit at this point in his career. So an interesting thing to note, of course, was that in the November of 2012, there was a triple threat match. It was Dickie Divers, Taylor Bryden and Ewan G. Mackey. And many people suspect that this is where the seeds of the contingency plan came about. Divers and Bryden, if you've seen the match, you'll know that they pretty much worked as a unit and double teamed Mackey as the Baker with a suplex. He's certainly not a slouch. Look at him showing off his strength, Bulgarian Baker. He has very powerful arms. He does a lot of manual stirring. When he is baking, he doesn't always use whisks and blenders and the likes, often by hand. Takes great pride in that. Nobody rolls out the dough quite like he does. Because of course, I mentioned Divers' contingency plan. It was the following year, the July of 2015 at 7 Deadly Sins, that the plan officially formed. By that point, Divers had won his first tag team championship. And over the years, it's just the referee checking on the arm of Divers. Is he unconscious? Is he going out? No, still life left in him. Divers held the tag team championship ultimately. Look at this. Smacking the Baker around. But the Baker, brought him down right across the knee. He may have knocked him unconscious. He may have just knocked Divers. So it was 4 times Divers has been tag team champion. Held the Wrestling Showdown championship, the first man to ever do so. That was back in 2018. The contingency plan. Of course, 4-time tag champs in 2015, 2017. And so, the Baker lunged right into that boot. And a kick to the back of the skull, and Divers lands the drop kick. He's always had plenty of ability as Dickie Divers. I've seen it over the years, but for one reason or another, he's decided that he didn't want the crowd on his side. They wanted to be the bad guy to break the rules. And credit where it's due, it brought him a lot of success. And the contingency plan with the workshop they were done throughout the years as he hits that clothesline in the Baker. And drops him down with that fisherman suplex. And maybe if he'd held on to the leg and went straight in the cover, that might have got him, but it was not to be. Because the Baker's remained a regular part of W3L. Doesn't appear as often as he used to, usually as part of a northern tour each year. As he does like north of Scotland, one of his favourite places is for Scotland and West Indies. And going for a cover again, Divers knows the benefit of trying to get a victory here, it seems. And so as a consequence, the Baker's not always around that much, but appears often enough, and it still proves to be a real difficult opponent for everyone he faces. He's battled Mike Musso, he's battled the very good Mr. Eugene Mackey in recent years. Again, a lot of these you can see on Wrestling Showdown through the archives, as he's got some sort of baked goods. He's winding up. Oh, Divers saw it coming, avoided it, and hits the super kick. I'm not going to suggest that bread was loaded with anything or that it was abnormally stale to make it heavier. Divers lands the move that at one point in his life he used to call the delectable bomb, and he covers the Bulgarian Baker and scores the pinfall victory. Dickie Divers overcoming the nefarious Bulgarian Baker, Bozidar Branimir. What a great dip into the archives this has been from 2014.
I know what you're thinking. Whoever thought that Dickie Divers would be getting cheered by an audience? But he was. I'm sure we'll see him in the weeks to come here on Wrestling Showdown Rewind. Now it's nice seeing how the Bulgarian Baker used to be all those years ago as well. So, as I mentioned before, ladies, we've got tons of content here on the W3L Network. Hit subscribe if you haven't, it costs you nothing, and you'll be notified every time we put up something new. Not only do we put up what is now Wrestling Showdown Rewind every single Sunday at 12 o'clock, we've had all those supplemental programmes that have come up during the week. We've heard from Emily Hayden, Kevin Williams, Luke Aldridge, Mike Musso. Tons of stuff is all there for you. There's playlists galore. Check them out. You can watch them to your heart's content. And again, it will give you something to do until we are back up and running with bringing you live events. These are the currently scheduled live dates, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully we can bring you more events than just those ones. They were supposed to be happening in April. We've rescheduled them. Obviously it's all up in the air depending on what happens. Fingers crossed we can get back to bringing you live stuff as soon as possible. But those currently are our scheduled dates. Thank you again to the Mighty Crafty Connoisseur for sponsoring all of our live events. Again, check them out online and make a purchase. Tell them we'll send you straight to your door. You don't have to leave the house. How cool is that? And I mentioned before the fan support package. Again, you for your money, which starts at only a £5 and goes all the way up. So there's something to suit every budget. You're getting cheap ringside tickets, DVDs, signed posters, and exclusive video message from a W3L off your choice. It's going to be superb. You may as well get your hands on one of those. Help us continue while we're locked down and can't bring you live W3L action. What you can do to get that is check out our website, is w3lwrestling.com. You can buy your fan support package from there. Pick up one of our exclusive DVDs. Get yourself a nice t-shirt as well and send it to the mailing list while you are at it. Give us a like on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, join us over on Instagram. Make sure you use that hashtag. Tell us what you thought about dipping back into the archives from 2014. Unexpected, right? But I mean, a nice look back at how things used to be, yeah. And then, of course, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And then come back here next week because we'll be returning to 2014. We'll have another match. Who's going to be involved? Well, you'll find out. And we will continue to bring you content every single week here at 12 o'clock on the W3L Network on Wrestling Showdown Rewind.